Yes, when God says he's going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's something special when God says he's
Yeah.
going to do it because it's already done.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, everybody out there? So today we have a special word for you guys. But before we get into that, we just say welcome to Lighthouse Ministries.
Mm-hmm.
This is a safe space for the children of the light,
Mm-hmm.
children of God, to bond and build a community together. We share a lot of prophetic words that the Father give to us. We share a lot of marital advice and things that God wants us to share. So today we have a very special word for you guys today, and it's a good one.
Yeah.
It's truly a good one. It's a word that came to me last night. God was speaking to me, and I believe He wants us to share this word with you guys. So what is the title to the word?
All right, you guys. The title today is When God Says I'ma Do It.
Yes, when God says he's going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's something special when God says he's
Yeah.
going to do it because it's already done.
Yeah.
When God says he's going to do it, it means that it's already done. So let's go ahead and let's get straight into this word and dive straight into the prophetic, and let's get to it. And we hope that you guys stick around and let us know when is the last time where God says he's going to do it. We want to hear your testimonies in the comments. So what we have for you guys today is 6 points to this word, okay? So let's just dive right into it. So the first point is what?
The first point, you guys, is you can't do it alone.
Yes. So when God says that he is going to do something for you, you can't do it on your own.
Yeah.
Okay. God wouldn't say, I'm going to do something for you if you had the strength and the power to do it on your own.
Yeah.
That means he's doing something that you cannot accomplish on your own will, on your own strength. So when God speaks to you and he makes it clear that I'm going to do this specific thing for you, you can take it to the bank.
Yeah.
You can trust that he is going to get it done. But as soon as you start moving in unbelief, it stops.
Yeah.
And another one, as soon as you start moving in not distrust, but disobedience, it stops. And the third thing is, as soon as you start trying to do it on your own, it stops.
Yeah.
So some of us will never reach the thing that God have in store for us because we do those three things.
Yeah.
So keep in mind, when God is trying to do something for you, only thing you have to do is trust him, be obedient, and do what he is telling you to do.
Yes.
So that's like obey his commands. You know, do whatever it is that God have told you to do to make that happen. So I'm going to give you a quick testimony of ours, kind of. When we was moving to Dallas, and we're going to come back to this testimony at the end, but really fast, when we was moving to Dallas, we ended up in a position where we tried to do it on our own.
Yeah.
And that didn't go well. We'll explain what happened at the end, but it didn't go well at all. So reread number one again.
So number one is you can't do it alone.
Okay. So take that and remember that when God tells you this, remember you can't do it on your own.
Yeah.
Allow him to do it for you. Okay. So let's get into number two.
Number two, you guys, is actually number two, we're going to be putting Bible scripture on it to
Yes.
back up what we're talking about.
Yes.
So it's going to be Zechariah and Deuteronomy. Zechariah chapter 4, verse 6, and Deuteronomy chapter 11, verse 10.
Okay. So I have the Bible right here because I wanted to read with you guys. Usually we make you read it on your own, but I'm going to read a little bit for you. And it's Zechariah chapter 4, verse 6, okay? It says, so he said to me, this is the word of the Lord to Zerubbabel, not by might nor by power, but by the Spirit, says the Almighty, the Lord Almighty. So what that verse is saying, that you don't have the might or the power to get it done.
Yeah.
And so in that, they was talking about rebuilding God's temple. Okay. They wanted to rebuild the temple of God.
Yeah.
God have given them an instruction to start the building phase.
Yeah.
And he was saying, you're not going to get this temple built by your strength or by your power, but the power of my spirit is the reason why this is going to get built. Okay, so I want you guys to take that in and look over that verse. So if God said something to you, it's a promise.
Yeah.
So you do not have to worry about it, because sometimes you will think, well, what am I not good enough?
Yeah.
Like, God, you told me that I was going to get this good position at work, but what if I'm not good enough?
Exactly.
What if I can't do it the way that everybody else do it? And God says, you're going to get the position because I told you, not because you qualified,
Yeah.
not because you're ready, not because you are advanced. You're going to get it because I told you that you're going to get it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to help you along the way with everything else. So the only thing you have to do is worry about what I told you.
Yeah.
If I said you're going to get it, you're going to get it. So, and that's very, very important, you know. So that Bible verse really helped me along a ways. I remember when we was talking about going to work.
Yeah.
And you went to the job. And you did not feel qualified for it.
At all.
And how did you feel?
Low key, I was scared because I never been to a position like this before. I was always a girl that was going to like fast food restaurants, a Walmart, maybe a cashier type of thing. But God was like, I want you to go into some type of caregiving. I was like, I ain't never take. Sometimes I have tricky times with my kids.
Yeah.
And I never take care of nobody, or nobody's life has never been in my hands before. So I was really scared at that time. But God encouraged me to go, and it actually wasn't that bad at all.
Yeah, it was actually really good. And you was actually better at that job than what you thought.
Yeah.
Because the Spirit was with. So the next one is God's commands. Okay, so in order for you to allow God to do it for you, you have to follow God's commands, all right? God is not going to award division, unbelief, like I was saying earlier, disobedience, none of that type of thing. So God can say, I'm going to do this for you, and if you don't do it, or if you don't listen to everything else he have told you to do, do not expect the blessing. See, when God tells you to do something, you got to hold on until he gives it to you.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's not always easy, but especially let's just say if God been working on you with a special sin, and he has said, I want you to come all the way out of it. I done took you out of it, and I want you to stay out of it now. Okay,
stay away from it.
I have delivered you from it, but now I'm about to put you in a special place. So I'm going to do it for you. And if you're waiting for God to put you in that place, and you end up keep going into that sin, you're going to prolong that place.
Yeah.
And what's supposed to be 40 days will turn into 40 years. And you have to listen to God.
Yeah.
See, God has the power to send rain at any time. God can send the rain to feed your harvest at any time.
Yeah.
He can bless you at any time. God is a God of suddenly. You know, that's something we can testify to. When God says, I'm pulling you out or I'm putting you in, it will happen overnight. It happened in a blink of an eye. So sometimes we don't know exactly when God is going to move, but he don't give us the details.
Exactly.
So it's important to just stay connected, to stay connected to the vine. That way you will always be fruitful, as Jesus was saying in the Bible as well. Stay connected to me and you will stay fruitful. But as soon as you disconnect from me, you will wither up and die.
And you be put in the fire.
And like, and speaking of a branch, for instance, but you know, I think that was Matthew 16, I believe, one of those. And, you know, so when God gives you a command or he tells you to do something, it's very important to listen. Listen to everything he tells you to do. As soon as you stop listening is when it slows down. Okay. What is the next one?
So number 4, you guys, is showing up.
Yes. So this is my favorite one. Okay. Showing up. Because if God tells you, he gives you the vision and says, I'm going to do this for you. For instance, right now, we're going to talk about moving to a new city.
Yeah.
But it could be anything for you guys. If God says, I want you to show up and do what I'm telling you to do, and if you don't do it, you can kiss that city goodbye.
Yeah.
Okay? So, for example, God says, I'm moving you guys to Houston, Texas. Okay? First thing I want you guys to do is start packing. And you don't start packing, you're never going to move.
Yeah.
And you can be as simple as, well, only thing I didn't do was pack. It don't matter. See, God is a step-by-step process. And the steps that he's giving you is very important because it shows your faith.
Yeah.
We packed when we had no provision. When we was moving, we packed when we had no money, no provision. We barely even knew where we was going.
When God said start packing, we just put everything up. I remember you woke up that night and you said you had the urge to pack. And I'm like, where are we going? Like, God hadn't even gave us anything. He was like, we ain't worried about that. We just go start packing these bags.
One thing at a time. God said pack, so I'm doing it.
We start packing.
Yeah. So you have to show up.
Yeah.
Meaning that when God tells you to do something, do it.
Yeah.
Once again, this is very important. See, you don't have to perform in a way that others have to. So let's just say when we moved to Dallas, and this is getting into part 6 a little bit, but when we moved to Dallas, we had no way, no means of income, no money, anything like that, right? But we was watching videos and people were saying, in order for you to move to Dallas or to move out of state, you need about $5,000 to $8,000.
You might need a car.
You're gonna need a car.
You need to prepare a job.
Yeah, make sure you have a job prepared. And listen, that held us down.
Yeah, because we tried to get those things prepared.
Yeah, we tried to do all of those things on our own, and God said, nope.
Don't do it.
Only thing I want you to do is wait. And next thing you know, we look up in a matter of like a couple of months, and we're in a new state.
Yeah.
No job, no saving up $7,000,
no car,
no
daycare, nothing prepared.
Nothing.
We just left.
So God told me strictly to just wait.
Yeah.
So, and he also told me a couple of things as well. See, what showing up means is being obedient to the things that God wants you to go and do before the blessing.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like planting the seed. You got to show up to plant the seed.
Yeah, you got to dig in the dirt and put the seed in there.
Exactly. You have to show up. So when God says, oh, now I want you to start selling your furniture. But what if I don't move?
Exactly. Trust me.
Right there is when the progress slows down. So it's like, okay, let me put my furniture for sale. Let me start selling this. Let me start doing this. See, God will tell you things to do to bring you closer to the promise.
Yeah.
Like, let's say you're a YouTuber. God says, now I want you to go out and I want you to invest in yourself. I want you to buy this camera, buy this microphone, buy this system, because I have something big for you. And you sit there and never do it.
You will never.
That's something big you will never reach. So you got to show up. You got to be like, okay, God said go buy this.
Go do this.
I'm finna go buy it.
Go pack. Go get this. You might not see it coming, but it will happen if God said it.
Yeah, you have to show up. So what is part 5?
Part 5 is put it in God's hand, putting it back in God's hand, basically.
Okay. And I want you to explain this one, because I have talked probably the majority of this prophetic word.
What we mean by that is if God gave you something, you put it back in his hand so he can work on it too. So like when we was moving to Dallas, this is one of our biggest testimonies that we wanted to put everything in our hands, but we had to trust God with the process. So we had to put it back in his hands, and we had to allow him to guide our steps. And we couldn't go out and do all the other things like get a car or get a job or do other things. We had to put what he was telling us back in his hands so we can trust him with the process.
Yeah. So I'm going to explain that with part 6, and this is going to be entering part 6, okay? And this is our testimony on that. So God said, I'm going to move you guys to Dallas, Texas.
Yeah.
Follow me, trust in me, and be obedient.
Yes.
We said, okay, let's do it. First thing we do is we get up and we went and found the job. God does not say go find a job. He said wait.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, well, we found the job. The job was terrible. God was like, nope,
meant
that's
for us
not
to
it.
have, yeah.
And she was working first, and then I started to go behind her and work. And I was about to start working, and I go outside, and I don't know, I've told this testimony multiple times. Being disobedient to God, God will discipline you now. Like, so I'm just, let's be real. But I go outside, and I'm walking to the store like a day before I was supposed to start working, because we wanted to save the money to move to another city, and we didn't have the money at the time, so we was like, we're gonna work and get it, not understanding that's not what God wanted me to do. So I go outside and I fall.
Okay.
I fell so hard, y'all, that it was a hard fall. Like, you know, I didn't want to get up off the ground for a minute. I had to take a second and think, like, hold on, I think an angel just pushed me over or something. And I went back in the house, and the first thing I told her is I can't go to work because my ankle hurts. And
I was quitting because that job was miserable. I couldn't do it no more.
You looked at me and said, I don't think it was meant for us to work for this. And so I was like, okay, you know what, God, you got my attention. I am not finna work. I'm finna sit here and be obedient to what you have told me to do. So what happened is we had to put it back in God's hands, because we thought that we was going to make the money. We was going to earn the income. We was going to do all of it.
Money and all that.
And it would have been us moving us instead of God moving us. And he didn't say, you're going to move yourself. He said, I'm going to move you. So we sat back and we waited. And we waited. And next thing you know, about 2.5 months go by, and the exact money that we needed came in. And we did not have to work for it. It came right in, and we ended up moving to Dallas. So we learned from that process that when God says that he is going to do it, he's true to his word. He will do it. So if you're out there, if you made it to this far in the video, we ask you guys to like the video, comment, and, you know, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. But the main thing that I want you guys to take, that God will do it for you. God will do it for you. You don't have to worry about someone else. You don't have to worry about it coming through another source or another way. Please just understand that God will do it for you. When he says, I'm going to do it, he's going to do it. Nothing you can do can move God's hand. And he ain't doing it because you are able to do it. He's doing it because he's able to do it. Okay? We wasn't able to move
for years.
We wasn't able to heal our marriage. God spoke to us and said, I'm going to heal your marriage. We tried on our own for years, but we tried God, and we're healed. So we're a living testimony of that. So I just want you guys to truly understand, when God says he's going to do something for you, he's true to his word. That don't mean do it for yourself or go out of your way stressing. Don't worry about how it's going to get done. Just worry about God is going to do it for me.